Today is July 29th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey and Rammer in the middle of your family vacation. You had to stop off at a park because the Cardinals are wheeling and dealing and making moves 24
Yeah.
hours ahead of the trade deadline. If you haven't heard yet, or you're just looking to recap the move that happened earlier today, the Cardinals have traded away Tommy Edman. In return, they have received Eric Fetty and Tommy Pham from the Chicago White Sox. Edman goes to the Dodgers. Prospects go from the Dodgers and the White Sox to the south side of Chicago. Rammer, your thoughts on the move?
A tremendous move. First of all, let me just say I'm at the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder, Colorado, and so if there's traffic and people, it's a happening place. And as far as the deal, you give up a guy who has been surpassed on your roster anyway. Part of it due to injury, not necessarily because of performance, but Tommy Edman. It was time to move on. Injury and salary, you needed a right-handed hitter or somebody who could hit left-handers. Let me put it, that's a better way to do it. That's Tommy Pham, a professional hitter.
And it looks
This
like we
guy
lost.
to boot. There I am.
No, we got you back. Yeah.
And Fetty is one of the 3 or 4 pitchers that I coveted. I liked him. I liked Crochet. I like Anderson with the Angels. Well, there's 3 of them anyway. And I think the Cardinals got the steal of the century.
Yeah, to not give up, and they ended up actually. I know earlier today, when Claibs and I were live and doing the show and going all over it, the reports were that the Cardinals did not give up any prospects. That actually was wrong. They gave up right-hander Oliver Gonzalez, a guy in their farm system whose name I have never heard before. So it is one that it's a name that I don't know if that's something that will come back and bite the Cardinals at some point, but it's one of those where you're not looking at it as them giving up the farm to make that move. Rammer, I guess you're having audio issues, not able to hear me right now. I don't know if that's something that has been fixed or not. Are you able to hear me? No.
Joe, I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
I cannot hear you, Rammer. What I will do is I will take you from the I will take you out of the studio, and while I do that, and hopefully you are able to come back and rejoin us at some point. I will read the lineups for tonight's game between the Rangers and the Cardinals. Nathan Eovaldi gets the start for the Rangers, and they will lead off with Josh Smith at third, Corey Seager at short, Marcus Semien at second, batting third, Wyatt Langford in left, Adolis Garcia in right, Nathaniel Lowe at first, Ezekiel Duran DHing, Jonah Heim is catching, and Leody Taveras is in center field. Cardinals with their usual lineup tonight, as they have Mason Wynn at short, Alec Burleson in left, Wilson Contreras is catching, Brendan Donovan at second, Nolan Arenado at third, Lars Nootbaar in right, Paul Goldschmidt at first, Matt Carpenter DHs, and Michael Ciani in center field. Eovaldi on the year 7-4 with a 3.31 ERA, 104 strikeouts on the year. Andre Palante on the year 4-4 with a 3.92 ERA, 44 strikeouts for Palante, who has been very solid in the starter role since rejoining that and becoming the 5th man in the rotation a few months ago. And Rammer reading off the Cardinal lineup, Matt Carpenter in the lineup today. And just with the Tommy Pham news of him coming back, that now gives you in the Cardinal dugout tonight, Ali Marmol, Daniel Descalso, Lance Lynn, Matt Carpenter, all guys that kind of came up together and are now back in the dugout together, 2 of them playing, 2 of them coaching. and Pop Warner, who was, I think, coached all of them at some point in that dugout as well. So one of the big issues last year was leadership in that dugout. And now you have a whole lot of guys who have been a part of the Cardinal organization since the mid-early 2000s. And they're all there now for a nice stretch run over these last 2 months of the season.
Yeah, there's no question about that. It's, the funny thing, having Tommy Pham in the mix, he is not a guy to mince words. And I really like that. I like the fact that he doesn't have to, walk on eggshells around players and managers. And he tells you what he thinks. And he usually can back it. Not usually. He always backs it up with facts, with metrics, and with performance. And if people can't handle him, that's a them issue, not a him issue. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up hurting a young guy's feelings along the way. But he's going to try and make a man out of them and try and help make them guys that can contribute in a pennant push.
With Tommy Pham in the mix, I think it's all but safe to say Dylan Carlson's time in St. Louis has probably come to an end. Cardinals will have to make 2 roster moves here when Fedde and Pham make their way to St. Louis to put them on the big league club. No word yet on when Fedde will make his first start for the Cardinals. But Dylan Carlson right now, according to reports, is currently on the radar for the Guardians, the Angels, and the Nationals. 3 teams, 2 of those teams not in the playoff mix. Guardians, one of the best teams in baseball, but Angels and Nationals, those are 2 where maybe you get a big league guy back if you trade with them for this and getting a relief pitcher, which now Cardinals, we were talking about Nestor Cortez, who it really seems like the Yankees are ready to move on for. Reports saying that the Yankees are going to be finalizing a trade for Jack Flaherty here soon. And when that happens, Nestor Cortez is going to be moved out. I know Cortez was linked in some reports to the Cardinals, but with Fedde now in the mix, there's no more room for another starting pitcher. I think it's all bullpen arms at this point, and I don't know if a bat happens to find its way into St. Louis or not, but I think right now the focus is to try to get that bullpen as strong as possible.
Well, and somebody may come up with a name that I hadn't thought of, but of the names that have been talked about and mentioned as bats, in particular, bats to hit against left-handed pitchers, the only one I would like better than Pham is Rooker for the Oakland Athletics. Pham is a great fit, and he may not play every day, but he's going to play a lot. And this team just got deeper and better. And going back to Fedde, if you look at the numbers, and the numbers don't lie, they can mislead you, but they don't lie. And Fedde's your ace. Now, they won't make a big deal of that because nobody wants to hurt Sonny Gray's feelings, but Fedde's season has been better than Sonny Gray's. Period. It can't be argued, not logically anyway.
We have sat here for weeks now saying that the move the Cardinals needed to make was somebody that could start game 2 of that wild card series for you after Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray was signed to be your ace. And yes, I know the result on the field might not say it, but I would imagine if the Cardinals make a wild card spot, Sonny Gray will be starting game 1 of that wild card. Eric Fedde is that perfect guy to be in there for game 2. You mentioned Brent Rooker, by the way, of the Athletics. I don't know if you saw that he is in the news today. As I guess overnight, somebody messaged him on Instagram saying that they were one leg away from $21,000 in a parlay, and Brent Rooker cost them that. And Brent Rooker responded to the guy on Instagram saying, "My brother, I cannot even begin to express how much I do not care."
Actually, that was a pretty good way to express it.
The fact that he used no vulgarities in that either, I think, speaks to Brent Rooker and what he is able to hold back from.
That's really good. That is really good. Well,
remember, we sit here now, like I said, 24 hours away from the from this. And the before the game today, I when you were reconnecting, I mentioned I read off the Rangers lineup for tonight. The Rangers today made 11 roster moves.
Whoa.
Josh Young and Corey Bradford reinstated from the 60-day IL. They also recalled Ezekiel Duran, who is in the lineup tonight, and righty Gershon Garbito to open roster spots. Right-hander John Gray was placed on the 15-day injured list. They also optioned Andrew Kisner, Justin Foscue, and Jonathan Ornalis to the AAA. And also Evan Carter moved to the 60-day IL, while also designating one player for assignment and releasing another. So 11 roster moves for that. I cannot imagine getting that text or email from Cardinals PR and having to comb through all of those. So
Joe, that would be frowned upon in rotisserie baseball.
That's the guy that wakes up at 4 a.m. on waiver days and just starts clicking all of those. All of those moves.
I hate my team. Click, 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 click.
Rammer, tomorrow's show that we'll do will be focused all on the trade deadline, but very much looking forward to Lance Lynn versus Max Scherzer on the mound tomorrow night at Busch Stadium. That'll be a fun one between two grizzled veterans in Major League Baseball. Two of, I believe, the 6 active players with 2,000 strikeouts on the year or on their careers. So that'll be a fun one down at Busch tomorrow. And hopefully some roster moves. That's
like two old cowpokes on one last roundup. Two grizzled, tough, two guys with a lot of hard bark on them. Yeah, there have been a few Westerns made with those two guys in mind. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Rammer, you enjoy your vacation, and we will touch base again tomorrow before the trade deadline expires right around this time, 24 hours before we get there. Yes.
And let me say this, one last thing. I just want to say, John Mozeliak, fantastic job. Even people just don't want to give the man credit. And I'll criticize him as much as anybody when it goes bad. That's a great deal he made today. A great deal. And tip of the cap to Mo.
Yeah. 2 other transactions, by the way. Justin Turner gets moved from the Blue Jays to the Mariners. Ty France, who was released by the Mariners a few weeks ago, he ends up in Cincinnati with the Reds. So 2 other bats around baseball that have found new homes.
So the Mariners added Arozarena and Turner. Neither one having a great year, but all of us know, both with their backgrounds, that over a 2 or 3 month period, it's possible. The Mariners are desperate for offense, and so they're taking a shot.
Yeah. Your thoughts on the Jazz Chisholm trade to the Yankees before we get out of here?
Chisholm, Jazz Chisholm. That's all you wanted to know. No, that's a terrific move.
Yeah.
They need his, Aaron Judge can play center field, but you put Chisholm out there, helps you a little bit defensively. And the Yankees, what they really need is Paul Goldschmidt to go with them. Now, I'm not advocating a move because I love the guy, and I think he's going to have a good final 2 months here. But that's the kind of thing the Yankees really need.
Rammer, before we get out of here, want to thank our sponsors, Royal Banks of Missouri, and also our friends at Mungenast St. Louis Acura. Find them online at stlouisacura.com, or if you're on the Illinois side, head over to altontoyota.com. Both great sponsors here of the work we do in Claibs Online. Until tomorrow, he is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. This is Daily Cards Live right here on ClaibsOnline.com.
From our roots in St. Louis, Royal Banks of Missouri is branching out to continue serving you with our locations in St. Charles, Jerseyville, Granite City, and now in Hannibal, Center, and New London. Royal Banks of Missouri, the community bank in your community.